Good morning, everyone. All right, let's get some charts up here. There we go. That's right, Joe. Zero DTA for everything. Right? If you can find the juice, as Dan calls it, you got to find the juice. And I think should be some juice out there after this drop. And you can see here, we got a little more downside there on the Qs. Last I looked, it wasn't breaking any support. I like that. Juice hunters. Dan should use that on a slide. Juice hunters. All right. So I started out with SPX today because I think it was yesterday. Was it yesterday? Or day before yesterday? I think it was day before yesterday. I said, you know what? I don't think you should go near SPX credit spreads. You know, it just was uncertain and things were too close. The call side would have worked, obviously, you know, after that drop. Anyway, if you had done the put side, you wouldn't be here today. Shows green. Anybody else not see charts? Maybe they got them minimized. I see them on YouTube, Ken. Yeah, they're okay. Okay there. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, if you'd have gotten near the put side on this day, odds are you wouldn't be here. You'd be crying in your soup. You'd certainly be in trouble with your better half. Anyway, thing was, if we were to get a drop, the juice would be huge. And now it is. So I believe the put side today is a no-brainer. And if you want to get a little closer, it's some pretty good bucks in there. I'm kind of a wimp. So 4,600 being a whole number is doable. All right, way down here. You can go a little, you know, even 4,625 has got some wow juice in there. So when you get these kind of moves, you know, the juice just pours over the top, pulp and everything. Of course, there's that risk, but we look at things as probabilities as, you know, coming down here. Is that probable? And I would say, I don't think so, obviously. So there you have it. The upside, there isn't enough. So pass on that. The bottom side there. And you know what, as we go into this today, we talked about this a little bit yesterday in the green room. And I haven't looked as to what the premium is there on SPY. It's always a huge amount less, but I mean, if there's any premium down here, sell them naked. Because if you get assigned, you know, as long as you have the funds, I think it's a good trade. And if this was to be down here, you know, okay, yeah, it could be a Black Monday, blah, blah, blah. But look, if you don't, I don't mind owning SPY down at these levels. And that's how you got to view selling a naked put. You know, so even if you owned it here and some black swan event happened and it went down here, from my point of view, so what? Buy more. All right. All right. What's everything else doing here? Qs, NASDAQ futures anyway. We got a trading range going on here right now. So one of the things we talked about here on that morning was we had a trading range going on. And the idea was, okay, void up above if it can clear it and void down below. And it's like, is it going to go all the way down there? Maybe, but that's a hell of a ride, not far. And it went down there. So now, little baby trading range, big monster trading range. And right, you can see here on the weekly. So now it's down here. And, you know, if it can get above the top of this range, it's at the bottom. So look, you got to decide for yourself how you want to trade these. You can see the way this came down here a little while ago and down here, but a little bit of stabilization, you know, stop below the lows a little ways and maybe it goes to the top of the range, counter trend trade, all that stuff. But, major support, trading range, small time frame, little retest, little reversal. If you like that kind of a trade, it's something to consider based on what's going on this bigger time frame. Maybe this, by the end of the day, this turns into a green bar. Maybe not. Maybe it comes all the way down here. So you're out of the scalper trade and you reassess to see what happens. YM, breakout failure, the least amount of damage. It was the strongest. Lately, it's been the weakest because it was the strongest. So down here on a little bit of support. It was there yesterday. It's breaking the lows at this time, which opens up the door to, going lower. But I'm just looking at where the Qs are. I don't know. Maybe it's a breakdown failure. Maybe the Qs stabilize and this goes down to the 20. We'll see. Right now, it's weak and suggesting it should go lower, and maybe all the way down to here. Right? If it can get above here, it opens up the door to something bigger. But the Qs are a better setup right now since they're already down to the bottom part of a major trading range area. Pretty much common sense. Russell showing a little relative strength this morning. Inside day, not much. It was really not much going on anywhere. Pre-market is just consolidating. Things are chopping around. You see the whip to the downside. It's coming back up, which would form a sell setup. But, maybe today will surprise us and there'll be something bigger going on, and we really don't know. But as of now, there isn't really much going on. I think going into next week, and if this doesn't turn into something more definitive today, where it starts coming up into this green bar, and as we always say, let's do that and duplicate it there, and wide range bar stays in the lower half. This continues to chop around, back down all the way to the bottom of the range next week. And Bitcoin couldn't hold, going down, right? You always look to the left. Yesterday, we talked about, hey, this failing here, if it doesn't hold this area, we'll be looking for a measured move. So if this doesn't come off of here today, or I would say if it hangs here, it doesn't start moving back up by Monday, that is going to add more to the bias of a measured move and coming all the way down here to around 30,000. So that's weak. Another sign of weakness. Oil's up again. Coming in at the moment, but no big deal. It is up at this resistance area. So see some weakness for the moment. Silver and gold. Sorry about the puppy. Was looking great and it fell apart. Bottoming patterns do that. And she's feisty this morning. Gold back down, and I guess that, with the markets coming down, the idea of this inflation, or which, whatever, the market's going down because of inflation. But, interest rates did rocket higher. So that does support that idea. So why gold is underperforming and Bitcoin is underperforming into market wise doesn't make a lot of sense. But sometimes these things detach. I've seen it plenty of times over the years where, I can remember years ago where if you were looking at bond futures and S&P futures, they were in lockstep with each other on a 1-minute chart. And then the environment changes and all of a sudden it's like nobody cares about bonds anymore. So, it's one of the things with trading that is different than what other professions is that in another profession, the day-to-day type of things that are just repetitive day in and day out don't always relate to, trading the markets. So again, these intermarket relationships that could be so in lockstep with each other can detach and be totally irrelevant. So you have to have a method of adjusting, and that is, was my focus over the years, was, because human nature wants things to be secure and be the same. And when it isn't that way, we get conflicted. And that's why trading is difficult. Everybody talks about the psychology part of trading. Well, why is that? Because we're just not wired for it. We're not brought up that way. And, not to get too deep into it, but just think about what your mother told you every day as you were growing up as a kid. I mean, most moms will say this repetitively to children each day, multiple times a day. Be careful. Be careful. So you you live that life, be careful. And you come to the market, it's like, yeah, be careful, but it's not a red light, green light thing where, what red is red and green is green. No, sometimes red is green and vice versa, right? They're asking me, what kind of puppy is that? T-Rex dog. It's called everybody's familiar with British bulldogs, but in reality, bulldogs, the way you see them, short, stocky, and all, are not the way a bulldog was originally bred, because bulldogs were meant to go run after bulls and grab them. And you think about what that little bulldog today, could it do that? Hell no. So the dog is called an Old English Bulldog, and it's bred to be what bulldogs originally were. So they're kind of like it's kind of like a boxer, but stocky and muscular. So, but she's a big, I don't know, just one of those big barks with no bite. And yeah, she's a big sweetie. Like if you came, and she might protect the house, I don't know, but she'd be protective if we were outside and bark. And then if you just said, "Hey, how you doing?" she'd lick your feet. And, so she's no, threat like the bark sounds. And that's all good. Transports, up at resistance to the left, normal type of price action. Well, she's an 80-pound puppy. Well, she's not really a puppy anymore, but I think of her as a puppy. She's almost 3 years old. So, choppy price action here. We looked at it. We looked at interest rates. I think today's kind of it could move, but considering the size of the move already, and it's Friday, maybe we're just going to have some kind of a choppy day, digesting things and looking for more information. I guess the jobs report is out already. I believe so. I think it was coming out at 8:30, and maybe that's what this blip to the downside was, that really didn't produce much of anything, because the S&Ps there are just an inside day, and we still got this little trading range going on. So anyway, there you have it. We'll see what today brings. That's what we do all day. Yeah, exactly, Ken. All right, Dan, I know I'm a little early there by a minute or two, but take it away.
All right, good morning. Yeah, I don't have a whole lot either, but we'll go through things here. We had a nice little watch list from yesterday's scanning. And so, yeah, we sold those puts and the Qs for next week. We're really far away. We have one on Tesla expiring today. That's holding great. Facebook had an amazing reversal yesterday, but we actually stopped out break even when the Qs were weakening into the close. But I'm still going to keep an eye on this to put on another one, whether it's today or next week. But yeah, the FANGs are always candidates for 0 DTE. What else? Wow, this dog Z from yesterday. Look at that power trend. I put that in a window and it's still not doing anything. Starbucks, Got a downgrade. Let's see what it does at these prior lows. More cruise ship problem. Shutting down a bunch of cruises because their crew got corona. This is a pro gap. It's a shock gap over, provided the bullishness of the gap holds, that is. But it's a beautiful bullish gap over this, so it's potentially igniting a new move. Look at little GME here in the bottom right. This is a definite put spread watch. Oh, it's clearing this major resistance now. Earlier at 157, it was like right there. It was still a bullish gap, even though there was a lot of resistance. But now that's a pro gap also. And what got them going is they're getting into the crypto exchange kind of business, NFT. And you know what, to give Kramer credit, I remember Kramer when they were having financial problems and all that. He came out and he said, this is what they need to do to survive. And I was scratching my head saying, I mean, what are you talking about? I mean, what is an NFT? What are you're selling games? And I just didn't understand it, but he was right, and the market likes it. So that definite put spread watch for us. Coal's here, potential inverse head and shoulders if it could have got over the week's high, but now it's gapping. Now it's a bearish gap. I don't know what to do with it, but they're not liking something there today. Marin, another bullish gap. That is a nasty, steady downtrend, and now something has changed. If the gap holds, they're doing some, I think I read some deal with Amazon. DCT 2950, bullish gap, but still in a trading range. Got no interest there. QDEL 131. It's down a lot. This is a W bottom with a new low plus on major support. So this is a definite watch. 30 detective, 5, 10, 15, 30-minute high. Let's go through our checklist on that. IGT, these are a couple from yesterday's list. IGT. WWE was in the news, but I don't. Oh, WWE and IGT are doing something together. I can't tell where this is gapping, but possibly. If it gaps up maybe to 50 and takes out a 30-minute high, it's a tradable bottom, so I'll keep that on the list. WDFC, I think at earnings, it showed up $1, but no pattern. Swim, no pattern, looks lower actually for a day trade. Crust, I think earnings, I don't see where it's gapping to. Parts, up $1. Maybe 30-minute high will come back. No pattern. Some of these were earnings. This it shows it up 14 cents, although I don't see any prints. But this is a beautiful 15-minute chart for a possible day trade. If this gets to 640, that would be 5%. $6 stock, rallying 30 cents. So could be a day trade. Like GBX gapping up a little bit, but no pattern. You're gone. I'm not finding any tier ones here today. It's kind of an M top right there, but I don't see where it's gapping. GME. So GME is one of my favorites for a put spread. 0 DTE to start on DWAC here. Had a nice reversal bar yesterday. And now this is a controlled buy setup. So let's see if it can hold here. I'll put that in a window. The old BWAC president. Charles is asking, what did the detective suggest? Oh, he suggested nothing. Nothing, because we got to wait for the 5-10 minutes to trade. Enlock had a nice big bar yesterday. Jack, these are on our watch list from yesterday. Winnebago, this is a tier 1. I'm putting that in a window. It's light volume, but I see some prints up there at 77.50. So if it does open at 77.50 and the market's had a nice little rally off the pre-market low. So if it gaps up here and holds, then we'll play it by ear. 5, 10, 15, 30-minute high. And we'll see how it reacts and see what the market does. So that's a good one. That's a good one. Vert was on our list. That's still a good one. This is a massive inverse head and shoulders. Look, left shoulder head, right shoulder. Yesterday was a closing breakout. So that looks great. And I think those came either, from you, Detective, or Emmanuel, one of you two. FFIV, that's a buy setup. So over yesterday's high and the put spread, I think I looked yesterday and it was spready. CMP bottoming pattern over yesterday's high. These were all from scanning in the green room. Hey pal, he's been trying for weeks now to bottom. FFIN, I would love a 1, 2, 3 on that for Monday. Baba was our tier 1 gapper yesterday morning. And it came in deeply with the market falling, so we held off. But look, now it's gapping over yesterday's high. So you know what? Now, Detective, let's keep an eye on this for a put spread for next week. I mean, today would be beautiful, but I just don't think there'll be any juice for today. But next week, if we can get under Wednesday's low, then I like that. Uber got an upgrade or two, but there's no pattern. Hewlett Packard's been on my list for a while. It's broke out and going sideways, bullish weekly, monthly. All right, so that's my list. That's all I got. Netflix. Google maybe put spread, 30-minute high. 0 DTE only, but the problem is he's the spreadiest of the group. Tesla, we're already in one, but I like this as an ad, and we can even do it tighter. We did the 950s. Folks, it's such a beautiful setup when volatility spikes and things are selling off after a couple days. We can sell way out of the money put spreads. And we had 1 day of risk with this. And so now I'm going to move stop yesterday's low. 10, 20, 50. Do that right now. We got 2 minutes to go. We sold that put spread for 75 cents. So nice. that should be a very easy management now. All right, so Tesla looks fantastic as an ad. We got GME, we got WGO, we got QDEL, we got a couple here on our list. And then, you know, we got TC 2000. And so I guarantee you, Greg's going to come up with a couple ideas here in the first 10 minutes. Greg can find trades on his cell phone going down an elevator. I've seen him do it. I don't like Microsoft. Amazon. Nah. Apple. Nah. All right, so Tesla, as of right now, is the best FANG. All right, I'm watching BABA, GME, VERT, WGO, you know, the ones we just talked about. All right, BABA. So KWeb. Hey, KWeb is a retest. BABA is a substantially more bullish pattern than the sector. Here's your WGO. 1,000. Yeah, so 10-minute high, 10-minute high detected, but then, you know, diamonds here going for the low. But then we know the credit's not going to be the same. But yeah, I wouldn't touch this one unless it minimum took out pre-market high. You see how, you know, I use pre-market data in the morning trading for the first hour. So just you look at this as if it's a real chart. So Tesla has to get over the pre-market high. Diamonds still look lower. You know, we said like 20.